Yep, says we're live.
Yep, we are live. Good evening, folks out there. Tonight, we're going to talk about social interacting and why it is important. So, I'm going to ask David what he thinks about interacting.
I do it on different levels. Most of the time, I try to comment on something that I know about or something that somebody's asking about. But most of the time, it's just a comment of, like we did on the email thing, is started looking it up, see what I could do, and found what I found wrong with it and couldn't fix, and move forward with that.
Yeah, you see, and I appreciate you chiming in on that one in case, was it called mail, what was
Uh,
it?
Mailbird, I think,
Something like that, but
something like that.
didn't like it.
Yeah, it looks good on the
But
outside.
But yeah, so I appreciate you commenting on that. So, Milani, what's your trick or tips?
Well, first of all, social media is called social media. It's all about being social, and being social is interacting with each other. So if we want to use social media and we want other people to be social with us, then we have to be social with them as well. It's not just a, a matter of build a stage and they will come. It's build a stage, but provide good entertainment, provide a reason for them to come, and be social. That's my thoughts in a nutshell on it.
You hit that on the head.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I will have to say that I need to work more on that. I need to be more social, more interacting. Life gets in the way, big time, but, it's very important for those people who want more followers or need followers, or to engage with the people who comment on your posts.
Well, I
Because
had a
if
comment.
you,
Oh, go ahead.
what's that?
So I had a group I was talking with one time. They mentioned, they said a lot of people are interested in the numbers more than they are the people in those numbers. And I said, I've always been. You'll see my numbers are low. I don't have a bunch of followers and else, but the followers I do follow with, I interact with. So
Exactly, David. Sure, we could have tons of followers. That doesn't mean anything because you could post something and you maybe get a +1 or a comment,
mhm.
and I figure if you can reach just one, I think you're doing good.
Mhm.
May I weigh in on that?
What's that?
I said, can I weigh in on that?
Oh, yeah.
I think that, like most other things, there's sort of a happy marriage of both. You want to increase your audience, but you also want it to be with engagement in mind, because what good is it to have a bazillion followers if nobody is listening to what you're saying and they're just letting your posts go by in their stream and not looking at it, not taking interest in it? But
Mhm.
I think there's sort of a healthy mix of both. And there are a few ways that I go about getting a larger audience, and that is by actively searching out people that I'm interested in, that I think they're putting out good stuff, and adding them to my circles. It's not just about trying to get myself into other people's circles, it's also about adding people to my circles. And then when I see people who interact more often, who engage more often, I actually have a favorites circle or a couple of favorite circles, and I add those to my favorite circle, and that way when I am checking my stream, I will select my favorite circles and give priority to those people because A, it's people that I find interesting, and B, people that are more interactive. And that sort of prompts me to be more interactive on their posts because I'm filtering out the people that are the most important or my favorites to me. So those are a couple of the things that I do to try to be more interactive. But Sheila, what you said about real life gets in the way and I need to be more engaging myself, I need to spend more time doing it, that's a very common thing that I hear a lot of people say, and I face that myself too. You know, it was a lot easier to be more actively participating in conversations when, you know, I didn't have any work or clients and I was still trying to build up. So what are some of the things that you're doing to try to encourage yourself to go ahead and be more interactive?
Well, what are some of the things I'm doing? Well, I've got a couple communities that I run or are involved with, and that is what I need to work on, is get in there and be interactive with the people that are in those communities, because they have value as well. And you need to engage with those too. You know, I figure I'm going to start maybe once a day, check out these communities, or give it every other, you know, like one community one day, another community another day. So it's not a total burnout. But I need to, what am I going to do? This is what am I doing? I am starting to interact with other people. I'm finding that when people comment on your posts, then a good idea would be to go to that person's profile and comment on something that you like. And so it's a two-way street. So that's my tip.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yep. Anybody else there have questions? I don't have the question app on there, but I do read the event.
Do you schedule any time on your calendar for that, or do you find that you kind of just do it around your real life schedule when you find real life gives you the opportunity to do it?
Well, I haven't even thought about scheduling it on my calendar to go, oh, you need to go in here. And no, I haven't done that. That's a good idea. But I find I just do it when I have the time. You know, it's like, yeah.
I have the exact opposite problem because I have a phone with unlimited data, so all my notifications on the computer also go to the phone. So I have to sometimes, while I'm at work, just put the phone down and walk away from it.
You know, on the phone, you can turn off the notifications for those apps. Yeah, it's like that way it doesn't.
Well, that's what I got a group like you said that just one group is notified to there, so the people I'm more interactive with are in there, so my notifications are fewer. But sometimes you put someone in there and they start post after post after post. You go, okay, I got to move you out of this group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're using groups to sort of organize how you're getting your notifications and who to be interactive with. That's a good tip.
Yeah, because I found that you could actually turn notifications on and off. I didn't even know that. Found out from another guy that I met online who I interacted with that showed me. He said, you can do that. I said, I didn't even know you could do that. So
you can also adjust the quantity of notifications that you get from your communities.
Now, like with the circles, you know, you create that circle of the people you want notified of. And that's the same thing on Facebook, too. You can create lists and then click on notifications for that. I'm not sure how you could do that on Twitter.
I don't think you can. I notice Twitter is more out of control than Google Plus is. So.
Yeah.
Well, you mean to get notifications on Twitter for a particular topical conversation?
Right.
You can use hashtags and then follow that hashtag.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
That I do. Oh, okay.
So, for example, if you were going to, and I want to try this eventually during a TGIF business networking hangout, but I just have to get to that multitasking level to do that, is to try tweet chat during one of the TGIFs, where I come up with a particular hashtag and then put out on Twitter, taking questions, use this hashtag, and then I can, in Hootsuite, set up a stream that follows that hashtag and brings in any of the questions that come to that hashtag. And in that instance, you want to create a custom hashtag so that it's not just, something that's really popularly used and a whole bunch of people are going to be posting to that hashtag.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome Kirk Sherrod. Yeah.
Hi, Kirk.
Hi, Kirk.
It's easy to remember because I'm sure odd.
Sure. Okay, Kirk. Yeah, there you go. And Kirk is behind the page called Jerk's Corner, and he gets a lot of interaction on his page. Because I think he makes his events pretty fun. And he has a great team behind it too, don't you?
That has a lot to do with it. I was just going to say that. That has a lot to do with you. When you've got somebody like Rhonda Green in your corner and Ryan Miner, that's a good team to have.
Yep. And Dennis Deuce, right?
Dennis isn't with us anymore.
He's not. What
Nope.
happened?
Well, he decided to do some other stuff, and he's got his other projects going, so we just parted ways.
Well, you applaud him for.
He's moving onward and upward. He's got lots of projects going on, lots of things happening.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. And
Doing his own show now.
yeah, Rhonda Green is amazing. She's always commenting on your stuff. I mean, it's like when you do your events, I put maybe because I can't promise being there to watch them, but I'll watch them eventually.
I appreciate that.
And
And
that's
what are we doing here? I just thought, you know what? I don't get offered to come to shows like by Sheila very often, so I thought, well, I better stop by at least for a drive-by or something.
drive-by. Might as well sit for a spell. We're talking about social media and interacting.
Oh,
Interacting with the people who comment on your posts, or you interacting with the people that you follow.
yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to just ignore the stream and go into your circles periodically and see what they're sharing, because I know I miss a lot not doing that.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Melanie, do you have those chairs that swivels around?
Yeah.
Me too. Check it out.
Yeah.
Hey.
But hey,
Bob, how you
here
doing?
we go.
Hey. You gotta swivel.
Hey.
Everybody's swiveling. Hey.
Hey.
Look how much fun we're having already.
The captain's chair.
Yeah. I'm the captain, and you're my stewards. How's that?
We're
I don't know.
stewardesses.
His name is Kirk.
Yeah. Okay, Kirk.
That kind of automatically makes him a captain.
Kirk, what is your tip for interacting on social media? Not just G+, but all the social media avenues. What's your tips?
It's just a bold-faced lie all the time. You lie as much. No, you have to. No, that's not true. What you need to do, for sure, 100%, my only tip would be that, well, I don't know if it's a tip. Everybody probably does this already, but for me, it's stripping away the layers and showing everybody who you are. Say, this is who I am. This is it. This is the me. If you don't like me, then sorry. And so that's what I do. I just make sure that everybody knows exactly who I am, and there's nothing to hide behind glasses or hats or anything like that.
Okay, how come you're hiding behind glasses and a hat then?
No, that's just who I am. Everybody knows that.
Love it. I love it.
I have a question for you, Kirk.
If you normally don't wear glasses, then you shouldn't wear any. Just saying.
Okay.
So I have a question for you. How do you juggle your time management in ensuring that you are taking some time to be social and be out there and yet running a business also at the same time?
Well, it's really hard, you know. That's the juggling act. I mean, I am busy, and so the best way that I can do that is I say I'm going to allow myself this much time to interact, and then I just hurry and try and do as much interacting as I possibly can, and I have somebody on my team who does a lot of that for me. So, you know, I do pay somebody to do it. But having said that, if she does make a post or she does make a comment, I make sure that I read that and either post and comment on top of that, or at least know what's happened. Because I have to set a set amount of time that I do that. Otherwise, you know how it is. You could get sucked in. You'd be on here all day.
That's easy to do.
Some people are, you know. But maybe they have more time than I do. I don't know. Dave's on here all the time. I see him everywhere.
Who?
David Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Kirk, meet David.
David,
meet
pleasure
Kirk.
to meet you finally. Yes,
Thank
I have
you.
seen you around. You know, we've never met like this.
No.
Yeah.
I haven't done many of these lately.
This is a good idea. This is a really
Yep.
good idea.
Thank you. And Milani does some awesome shows. Can you tell people about that one?
Sure, thank you. I do the TGIF Business Networking Hangout. It's broadcast on the first and third Fridays monthly at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. So that's noon EST. And it's what it says it is. It's a business networking hangout. I'm newbie friendly, and I try to bring in guest speakers to talk about topics that are of interest to small business owners. entrepreneurs.
I want to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well then you need to connect with Milani then.
Yeah.
She'll invite you in.
You already just did, kind of.
Well, just kind of, yeah. Yeah.
But it's also, it's not like a lot of the interview shows you see where it's just the person being interviewed and they don't bring anybody else in. I'm more like you, Sheila. I'm very open to having other people come in who want to participate and have a chance to practice being on camera, get over their shyness, and just get used to this medium of video.
Right.
You just invite a bunch of people and then they just kind of periodically come in? Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Oh, good idea. I like those. I'm kind of liking that a lot lately.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I usually have a featured guest and a topic, but I don't make it exclusive to them. Other people come in, I always give them a chance to introduce themselves and practice their 30-second elevator speech, get used to being on video, and then they can also add interest because they ask questions to the panelists or they ask questions to the special guest. And, and frankly, I also want to try to do it to help fund it, because I tell them, if you really like your 30-second commercial, I'll clip it out for a small fee and give it to you.
It's a good idea. Have you found a way to monetize your show a little bit? Has anybody done that already?
No. Nope.
Not yet. Nobody that I know of.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Sure.
I have done that, and I am doing that now. Now, I don't know if maybe it's not as easy for you because you don't have a product to sell so much, but I do have vendors that I do business with, and I do have some of them sponsoring my show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think Dennis was doing the same thing, wasn't he? He had some sponsors too.
I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't have an answer for that. I wouldn't put it past him because he's smart enough to figure that out, but I don't know that he did. I'm not sure about that.
I have no clue. Well, I want to introduce you to the famous Euro Maestro from Paris.
Yay! Hi, Euro.
Hello, Euro. So, do you have any ideas? Let's hear your version of social media and interacting, which I know you do very well.
I think it's just important to be yourself and post about things that you're interested in. and then interact with people accordingly.
Spot on.
I think too many people sort of approach it as a business, and what they end up doing is not very real, and they just sort of they post a lot sometimes, but there's not much interaction, and I think people see through that.
Mm-hmm. It's like they don't enter people, they just kind of drop their posts and then run, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's because they're not doing it right.
Well, it's like building a
I think they're
fence.
focused elsewhere.
Yeah.
What's
They're
that?
focused elsewhere.
Right. And Kirk, you said something about what?
Well, it's like building a fence. You know, this is one of those situations where you can't just drop posts in. You got to put the boards in between and then fence it in. You know, that's the whole idea, and that's what we're doing. We're fencing people in. And if you're going to drop posts, then there's still gaps. You're missing all the rest of the whole point of the fence. And that's what we're doing here, is we're building a fence.
Right.
Yeah. Because boundaries are good. You know, you can look over the fence and have neighbors and have friends, and you can have your own little groups and things like that. But boundaries keep us honest. So that's why if you're building a fence, you got to put the in-between parts in, too. You can't just drop a post. And
Just don't build that fence so high that no one can see in.
oh, we would never do that. Plus, I'm short anyway, so anybody can see over my fence.
I have to admit I'm guilty of that sometimes. And again, for me, it's the time management is a struggle. I mean, I'll always, reply to anybody who replies to my post and answer it. But really, ideally, you should also be going to other people's posts and participating in their conversations, not just the ones that you're starting yourself. But then when I get busy working on projects that are paying the bills, and I'm finding time to put my posts in, it's a juggling act. It's harder for me to find time to go and participate in the other conversations. But that's one of my goals that I'm setting for myself for this year, is to learn how to use social media management tools better so that I can be better about participating in other people's conversations and those as well.
I found some of those tools that you can use for your pages, if you have a page. But also, profile, you could do Hootsuite with your profiles, but I use Buffer, the Buffer app, for my daily WOW posts that I share on Facebook and Google+. So, yeah, I'm plugging that in. But
I had an HO with Mia Voss about a week ago, and we were talking about this very subject, and I was asking her, I said, boy, Mia, as busy as you are and as many things you've got going on and as many followers and shows, and I said, how do you keep up with that? She goes, I don't. But I do the very best I can. And what you want to do, too, we talked about this, that you want to try and get those friends of yours that you really have interacted with, and make sure you don't forget about those friends. Because one of the conversations we had, I said, when's the last time you watched my show, Mia? And she couldn't tell me. And then she said, when's the last time you watched my show? And I said, I don't know. So here we are. We're really good friends, and we sometimes will HO, but we haven't watched each other's show for a while. And so that's something just to consider.
I'm a guilty party of that by not watching the HOAs I've been invited to. But
that was one of my motivations for coming in tonight, because part of my goal that I said of being more interactive with other people is to participate more in other HOAs, and these ones that happen around this time are actually better for that than the daytime ones. And Sheila has been in so many of my TGIFs and participated in so many of mine, so I was like, there's no way that I could not come into Sheila's and come participate in hers.
Absolutely.
Yay,
now, having said all of that, I've been here for 7 minutes, and now I have to go because I have to go on to somebody else's show.
You know what, Kirk? You're awesome to jump into mine, so thank you for your tips.
I'll show you. There you go.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to meet all of you. I have to run.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Kirk.
Bye.
Watch Turk's Corner. It's on Monday.
That's right. Monday morning, right? What time?
Monday morning, 10 o'clock.
Add me to your notify circle, please.
Done.
Okay.
10 o'clock
That's Utah time, Mountain Standard,
Utah time.
Yes, it is.
AM.
Hey, thanks, you guys. Pleasure.
Okay.
Take
Thanks,
care. Have a good
Kirk.
night. Bye-bye.
Now,
I think I've been on the TGIF show a couple of times.
Yes, you have. You have.
yeah.
And it always surprises me because you're in France. I have no idea what time it is there, but I imagine it's late.
Late or early, depending on your perspective.
I think Kirk just rejoined. I don't know if he realized it.
This is the other show he wanted to join.
Euro, I don't even know. Do you host a regular show, a weekly show, or monthly?
No, actually, I've sort of been doing traditional television the last year or so.
Awesome. When you say traditional television, are you like a TV star? Is this why you hang out behind a penguin, or you have a cable show? Or
Well, I wouldn't say I'm a star, but I do get to go on prime time. It's a 1-hour show, and I'm just a guest, though, and they have me on from time to time.
Yeah, I just sent an invite to my friend Ed Paz.
Mm.
He's a photographer here in Utah. So,
A photographer on Google Plus? Wow, that's so unusual.
yeah. Yeah. So, there he is.
Well, there you go.
Wow, Ed. How you feeling?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Ed.
Thumbs
Hello,
up,
guys.
yes. Yes.
I don't know if you can hear me through the microphone or the computer microphone.
We can hear you. Okay. So welcome to this hangout. Is this your very first one?
With you, yeah. I do a lot of them for other
You
stuff.
do?
Oh yeah.
Really? You never invite me. How come?
It's mostly work and mostly volunteer work and things like that.
Awesome. So you're using Hangouts with work.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, what are your tips on social media and interacting?
Like any tool, this could go really bad pretty fast. To me, I don't so much worry about the tool that I do the style. I'm a project manager for American Express, so I have learned to deal with people at a higher levels, different levels, based on their skills.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things about any social hangout is to have a really good agenda of what you want to accomplish. Even if it is an intro, you want to make sure that people use it for that, because if not, it just goes into different directions and it's a waste of time, right? Like if you go to a meeting and you can't accomplish anything, nobody wants to go in a room and not accomplish anything. Even if it's just learning about the tools, is have an agenda and stick to it. And another thing that I do too, that my friend does for me, actually, is really good. He's a timekeeper. He'll post the agenda and we'll talk about these items for so many minutes, and then if they require more meeting, it's for the next meeting. So we keep it in track, which is good.
Yeah. Okay, now that's also great because you're interacting with people in real life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interacting. So that's good. And you care about what you do, which means a lot. So now, how about virtually on your social media, like on Facebook or G+ or Twitter or whatever? How do you interact with the people you follow?
You're asking me or the group?
I'm looking at you, Ed. Yeah, sorry.
How do I interact with people? I'm a bit of a jerk. I'm the guy that leaves a lot of groups. If people start talking about bacon, I leave the group.
Oh, well, okay.
I have nothing against bacon. I'm a very social person. That people that know me will tell you that. But I like to get things done, right? I use social tools not to make money 100% of the time. It's to socialize with people, and I have a lot of. But there's a lot of stuff that's very interesting to me. So, I used to be in a lot of photography groups. Are you guys photographers? All of you?
Nope.
Nope.
I am.
Well, Sheila is. I enjoy it, but I don't, do it professionally or anything.
Yeah,
No.
I want to be, but
I
not
use a lot of the photos I take, as a graphic designer, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'll give you a tip. You have a camera in your hand, whether it's a professional Nikon Canon with the big zoom lens, or your iPhone or your Samsung Galaxy. You take a photo. You are a photographer.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you do, David?
For a living or just
Yeah, just in general.
work in the security industry. I install actually cameras for CCTV and other stuff. So
Yeah. One of the things that I do for social media is I try to separate it from my work.
Mhm.
A lot of it is just like, let's go do something fun. I belong to a lot of little groups, meetups. That doesn't sound like what it is, okay? It's not one of those really weird.
Yeah, I know what they are.
So I do a lot of hiking, backpacking. I have a lot of interest and that's what I use social media for.
Mm-hmm.
I was using social media to promote my business, and that kind of, not that it backfired, but honestly, my customers are not on Facebook. That's not the kind of customers I'm looking for. So I moved away from Facebook on the business side. I'll post my work there, but for the most part, I use it just to socialize with people now. And the reason why is because, like with Google Plus, sometimes I'll get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and have a hangout with people from across the world, right? Which is really good, and not everybody wants to see you at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about work, right?
Yeah.
So, strictly social. When I do business in here, is very specific to a specific target audience that we already are doing a project. You know what I mean? But for most of the part, if the topic is interesting, I'll get on and listen, learn, and talk to people. If it isn't, I'll exit really fast.
yeah, I'm the same way. I do it to get away from work because the clients I work with, they're not on social media. The most of the cameras they do and the security they do, they don't want it to be public. So I'm the same way. I separate it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to do that.
It's a lot more fun that way.
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
I'm in Southern California near Palm Springs.
Really? Southern California, my favorite state, yeah.
Love it.
I'm in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow. Dayton, Ohio. That's awesome. Not quite California, but still Ohio.
Yeah, we can't go outdoors and bike all year long, but we're about to lose that season now. Winter's gonna hit pretty soon, so.
But you get pretty fall, right? You get lots of color trees and leaves and beautiful autumns.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
My brother used to go to air show in Ohio.
Where are you in?
I'm in Utah.
Oh, you're in Utah? Awesome.
Yeah.
So pretty there.
It is.
And Sheila, did we lose you?
No, I was looking at I was just letting you talk, and I was looking on the event, and some people are saying hello, and one said, sorry, I was commenting on YouTube, but I haven't looked at YouTube. So, but when we're done here, I will comment on the YouTube comment. How's that?
So you're running this to YouTube also?
This is live, Ed.
I know, but you can
Live.
post it.
This is going live. This is live, goes directly to YouTube. So this is being recorded.
Sheila,
Oh,
I noticed a question there that Ginger Snow is asking, and she is asking, are you tired of Ferguson? Because Ferguson has been in social media a lot with what's been going on there.
Who's Ferguson?
Ferguson is a town, I believe it's in Missouri, and they're having all kinds of problems there and unrest. There was a teenage boy who was shot and killed by the police.
Oh, yeah.
And then they started having protests, and the police came out and started throwing tear gas and whatnot to the protesters, and there's just been a lot of controversy about what's going on in Ferguson.
Yeah. Hey, Ginger, I don't follow that anymore. So there you go.
I'm not tired of it, Ginger, because I think it's important that social media avenues are accessible and contributed to by people who are actually there and seeing what's really happening, with our corporate media being controlled by, or mainstream media being controlled by a handful of corporations that have agendas for the messages that they want to put out. I think social media, culturally speaking, is a very important medium for getting out multiple perspectives and points of views.
That's true. That's true. It's like, I know, a lot of your news agencies, your newspaper and your news media, they go out. That's part of the social, because they post on G+ or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and then they get the news out. But sometimes they don't quite get it right.
Right. Oh, there you
Okay.
Oh, no. Now you went back to black.
Oh, that's weird.
You came in for a second. There you go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming in and joining in on this little hangout. I have not done one of these for a very long time. But I appreciate all your tips that you've given. And so I think I'm going to end the broadcast. I think half an hour is plenty. But
Well, you don't want to do the 8 hours?
8 hours? No. I need some blood flow. Need to go for a walk. But no 8-hour HOAs. That, I can't do the HOAs that Dan McDermott does. He's famous for that. Well, I don't know about 8 hours, but he runs for a long time. But they have a lot of comments, a lot of fun people in there. But yeah.
I find a lot of musicians are doing that too. They're starting to use the 8 hours so they can do concerts and stuff. So.
Right. Plenty. Yeah, that's crazy. Like Daria Musk does her record. 8 hours? No, I need some blood flow. Oh, somebody's listening to the YouTube video.
I think it's Ed.
No 8-hour HOAs. That's Ed, you can use the HOAs that Dan McDermott does. Ed, mute the. Well, I don't know about 8 hours, but he runs.
Oh, there it was. It was,
okay.
I think.
Ed, you're listening to the YouTube feed, and that YouTube feed comes through the Hangout, so it's like an echo.
Delayed echo.
So you have to,
talented, Sheila.
So basically, mute the video.
That wasn't me.
Oh, well.
Iowa.
Okay. Oh, well. Anyway. Anyway, I just appreciate you coming in and joining me on this little experiment I wanted to try. That's called interacting. Yay, you passed the test.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Sheila.
Thanks for joining in, Milani and Euro and Ed and David. You guys rock. And Ed is a fantastic photographer. I don't know if he shared many of his pictures on here. Have you?
No, I usually put them on my site or somewhere else, but
Oh, please post your work publicly on G+, please.
Will do.
And if you do landscape photography and all, use that tag on your photos. Okay?
Will do.
Okay. Trust me. Just trust me on this one. Hello, puppy. Anyway, well, but thank you. Broadcast will end.
Bye.